we are in a process of nation building. We are building our nations to have the foundations of a strong state and civil society institutions. But more importantly, we are in a process of developing what I could call a social pact. And Prof called it national interest. But I go beyond, it's not only national interest. What I'm talking about is, it is a space in which everyone knows that we are here in 2018 and what we want to become. What we want to become in 5, 10, 15 years is this. And what are the steps for us to become? You come with different kind of strengths, different kind of knowledge, different kind of contribution. And your presence within society has a specific role. But all of us, we are working for a common goal. And we know the common goal, what it is.
Mind was formed in order to create a platform on which Africans can share their experiences in order to understand where they've come from, where they are at as of now, and they share ideas about how to go forward.
What we need in Zimbabwe is dialogue, dialogue, dialogue. Zimbabweans need to talk amongst themselves much more than they've been doing. And in that dialogue, they need to confront the issues, the challenges that are affecting the country, as well as to identify those things that unite us as a country that we can use in terms of moving our country forward to be able to realize the Zimbabwe that we want.
It's the first of its nature after the election. There hasn't been a dialogue that I've heard of where people have come in and the other nationals were also coming in to join into the conversation. This is how the dialogue is going to assist in getting Zimbabwe to the better place we're talking about.
It was very clear the depths of pain that the citizens of Zimbabwe have been enduring and they still carry. That Zimbabwe still needs healing, and that healing will come out of honest, open, frank dialogue.
It's not about telling the leaders what the rules of the game are. It's making sure that everyone knows the rules of the game and everyone is able to play and they know they have the authority and the power. Because I think ultimately governance is a question of power. Where is it? What are the rules of the game wherever those decisions are being made, however the power has been devolved, and have you allowed all parties to have their say?
As a dictator, even Rwandans themselves, they consider him as a strong and enlightened leader that they needed to take them out of abyss of a failure state following the genocide of Tutsi, which took more than 1 million Rwandans. Now Rwanda, 20 years later, is a shining star in the region. Thanks to Kagame, we helped build a strong, corruption-free society with strong institute of that's what Zimbabwe needs.
Because the people are standing against the regime every time stage manage things and call activists terrorists, separatists. Activists are in jail for talking. Activists are detained for talking. The regime we stage managed a few days ago, there was what was circulating on social media, on international media, that 78 learners from a school in Mankong, in Bamenda, were kidnapped. And this was a stage managed event for the regime to draw attention because that it was a day that the president is being elected.
Not just Zimbabwe, but African countries clearly are struggling with their own implementation of the concept of democracy, Zimbabwe included. And the elections we've just had, and the elections before that, in fact, keep throwing up challenges which I think are worth revisiting and sharing with other Africans in order to see how to go forward. And one of the ideas that came out, which I liked very much, is that the political space is not just about political parties. It's about educating the citizenry, ordinary citizens, to understand their role and their responsibility in shaping the politics of the country.
Because even in Zimbabwe, we haven't had a dialogue of such a nature, despite that we are coming from these elections. So I think this dialogue actually has managed to kick the ball rolling, and I just hope it's not going to end here. This kind of dialogues, many more will come and actually help us to shape the future.
We still have a long way to go. We have many countries that are still grappling with governance and democratic issues, and with providing livelihoods and generally making the lives of their citizens better.
Solidarity beyond race, beyond borders is very important for progress and for democracy to thrive, because I think there are people who took time out of their busy schedules, who have nothing to do with Zimbabwe, who have no relatives in Zimbabwe, who have no intellectual interest in Zimbabwe, but who really just came genuinely to say, we know your cause, we understand what your country is going through, and we are willing to stand side by side with you until you reach a better place.
Young people to understand when they say the Africa we want. For young people to say, is this the kind of Africa we want to build? Is this the way we want institutions to serve our interests as young people? And of course, I don't have to remind you that young people are the majority of our societies. So democracy is the role of the majority, right?
It's coming out clear that Zimbabwe is broken, Zimbabwe is fragmented, there's a lot of polarization. If we are going to move on as a country, we need to dialogue. We need to make sure that we work more towards an inclusive and developmental state.
It's been an enriching experience. I have learned a lot, and I've also contributed to the dialogue and to the conversations on how we can move forward as a country, and how we can start to mobilize and organize our different constituencies towards a common agenda to get Zimbabwe to a better place.
Another Zimbabwe is possible, especially if I look at the dynamism, the passion, the patriotism that I've witnessed in the young people that were in the dialogue this week. We have the opportunity, and we do have the capacity, we do have the ability to come together to build the Zimbabwe that we want.